Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are basically opening the book on a core principle that governs some of the world's most successful investors.
Yeah, and it's less of a strategy and more of a superpower.
A superpower, that's a great way to put it. It's like this protective force field used by the legendary Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner.
Exactly. He used it to make sure he was only making smart decisions and, maybe more importantly, avoiding those huge catastrophic losses.
So that's what we're getting into today.
That's right. We are diving deep into the circle of competence, or KUSI for short.
And the source material we've got for this is fantastic. It frames this huge financial idea using analogies from gaming, comics.
Pokemon, yeah. It just makes it so accessible. It shows that the rules that make you unbeatable in a video game are the exact same rules that protect your actual money.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is pretty straightforward. First, we're going to define what this protected zone actually is.
Then we'll look at some history. A real-world test case.
Like the dot-com bubble. That's the perfect example of why staying inside this zone is the ultimate shield.
And finally, we'll give you some practical tests and tools so you can start mapping out your own unique circle of competence, like right now.
So let's start with the fundamentals, the Pokemon analogy you mentioned.
Right. So think about it. You're about to go into a huge high-stakes battle.
You got to pick your team. You have to know your opponent's strengths.
And most importantly, your own strengths. You would never, ever send a level 5 Caterpie into a fight against a level 100 Mewtwo.
Oh, never. It's instant defeat. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Splat. And that splat result is what happens with your money when you buy things you just don't understand.
So when you step outside your area of expertise, you're basically sending your weakest character into the final boss battle.
Exactly. The money just disappears because you don't have the informational advantage you need to even survive.
Okay, so let's unpack Munger's force field. Our sources describe it as this giant glowing circle.
And inside that circle were only things he understood profoundly. I mean, better than 99.9% of people.
It was a hard rule, right?
Oh, absolutely. Anything outside that circle was just off limits, untouchable. He famously said he wouldn't touch some things, not even with a 10-foot lightsaber.
I love that quote. So the goal is simple. You only put your capital, whether it's $10 or 10 billion, where you have a real demonstrable edge.
And that leads right to his super simple philosophy.
I only swing at pitches I know I can hit.
Right. So most of the pitches, the hot tips, the things going viral, he just lets them fly right by.
And that's the hardest part, isn't it? The discipline to just stand there and not swing.
It's immense. But it gives us the ultimate clarity test. And the test is this. If you can't explain something to, say, your little sister in under 2 minutes using toys,
Then you walk away.
you just walk away. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter how much hype there is around it.
But I wonder about that discipline. Doesn't that mean you miss out on some massive opportunities? Munger himself avoided early Google and Amazon for years.
Yeah, even while they were, as people said, printing money.
That seems like it goes against everything we hear about moving fast. Did he ever regret waiting so long?
That is the fundamental question, and his answer really defines the whole concept. He said the biggest risk isn't missing a big gain. The biggest risk is a permanent loss of capital.
So he just said,
He said, I didn't understand tech yet. It was that simple. His circle was in things like insurance, candy, furniture, simple, predictable businesses.
so the inefficiency of missing a win was a price he was willing to pay.
Totally. A price to guarantee he didn't suffer a huge loss. And then when he finally did the work to learn the tech ecosystem, he expanded his circle.
And bought Apple stock and made billions.
Exactly. The payoff came because when he finally stepped in, it was with mastery, not a guess. It's patience plus circle. That equals superpowers.
Okay, speaking of avoiding disasters, let's go back in time. The dot-com dragon story. This is the perfect illustration of how this pays off.
The year is 1999. The feeling in the air is just electric. The internet is going to change everything. Everyone thinks they're about to be a millionaire.
The FOMO, the fear of missing out, must have been insane.
It was unbelievable. You had people quitting jobs, pouring their life savings into companies with, a cool website, but zero path to actually making money.
I mean, people were screaming things like, I made 300% on pets.com, or just buy anything with .com in the name, to the moon.
The logic was just gone. The rationale was, it's the internet. Magic will happen.
So Munger's looking at all this.
Right. And our sources have this great image of him just totally calm, sipping a cherry Coke. He looks at the crazy charts and he runs his internal checklist.
How does this company make money? Magic beans. I don't get it.
He couldn't explain the profit mechanism simply. He didn't get the cash flow, the competitive advantage. any of it, so it was just noise to him.
And in the comic, there's this giant dragon labeled .com Bubble 2000.
Yeah, breathing the fire of hype, trying to lure him in. But Munger just pulls out his glowing blue circle shield. He uses his own lack of understanding as his protection.
He just says, no PE, not in my circle.
And we all know what happened next. The dragon exploded in 2000. People lost 80–90% of their money.
But Munger was just sitting there, totally fine, sipping his cherry Coke. The circle of competence worked perfectly.
And that shield isn't just for billionaires. It's available to you right now, built from your own unique knowledge.
That's the key, moving from his story to your reality. Your circle of competence is unique to you, and that's actually your biggest unfair advantage.
Absolutely. Think about the adults you know. Your mom's circle might be real estate, your dad's might be sports cards, but your knowledge, the stuff you spend hours on,
The things you notice that adults completely miss.
that is your personal kryptonite-proof zone. You're an expert in areas where most adults are, frankly, clueless, like the Roblox skins economy.
Or knowing the real market value of a specific Pokemon card.
Or YouTube and TikTok monetization. Or Lego resale prices. That specialized knowledge is currency. You have an information advantage.
So let's put this to the test. Time for our rapid-fire circle or no circle game.
Let's do it.
Okay, first one. Buying the new Pokemon DLC for a game you've already played for 500 hours.
Circle E. You know that world inside and out. You get the value.
All right. Buying a new crypto coin because some kid on Discord said it was going to 1000x.
No, PE. Hype is not knowledge. Stay away.
Trading a shiny Charizard for 2 regular first edition cards because, the population reports say they'll be worth more later.
Circle E. That is pure trading mastery based on deep knowledge.
Okay, what about putting your savings into a random company that makes airplane parts you can't even name?
Definitely no PE. That is 10-foot lightsaber territory.
Last one. Starting a lemonade stand because you've done it every summer since you were 6.
Circle D. You are the local expert in lemonade operations. That is proven competence.
Okay, so now let's make it even more practical. How do you screen new ideas? Let's talk about the explain it with toys test.
This is the ultimate filter. Can you explain how an idea makes money using simple objects in under 2 minutes?
Let's do the passing example, explaining Roblox's business model.
Okay, you grab a Koi laptop and some Lego guys. You say, this Lego guy buys Robux with real money, then he spends it on the cool hat I made.
Roblox takes a little cut, and the rest of the Robux goes to me.
And then I can turn that Robux back into real money. Boom. You've explained the whole value chain, simply. That's in your circle.
Now the fail example. This one's important. Trying to explain that random crypto coin.
A fail sounds like this. Well, it uses a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, and the tokenomics suggest future deflationary pressure.
The second you start using jargon you can't easily define, you're admitting you don't really get it.
Exactly. The moment you need a dictionary to explain the core business, you're outside your circle. Time to walk away.
And this all translates into real wins. Let's talk about the 10-year-old investor challenge from the source material. These are real kids making real money.
Right, take Aria, age 11, total Lego fanatic. She knew everything about retired sets.
So she'd find them being sold cheap on, Facebook Marketplace by people who didn't know their collector value.
She'd buy them, hold them for a year, and then sell them on eBay for 3 times what she paid. That's pure expertise in action.
It's not a guess, it's a strategy. What about Jaden, age 10, the Pokemon king?
He knew all the subtle differences in card conditions and additions, so he was always trading up.
He'd trade common cards he got for cheap for rarer cards, building an $800 collection without spending extra cash.
It was pure trading mastery. He knew more than the adults he was trading with.
And then there's Mia, age 9. She was an expert at making virtual clothes for Roblox avatars.
She monetized her creative skill. She sold those items for Robux, and eventually turned that into over $400 of real money.
These kids are just finding their niche, their sweet spot, and using their informational edge.
They're relying on knowledge, not luck or hype.
Which leads to a bonus tip. Interview a grown-up. Ask an adult you respect, what's something you know better than almost anyone else?
You'll be surprised how many smart people actually struggle to define their own circle of competence. But you, the listener, you need to define and own yours.
So as we wrap this up, let's talk about the secret bonus level here. Your circle. It's not fixed, is it?
Not at all. That's the whole point. It's a growth mindset. Munger's circle didn't start out huge.
He grew because he was obsessed with learning.
The man read 500 pages a day. He was constantly educating himself, expanding his circle over decades. Continuous learning is how you grow your superpower zone.
Okay, so the final boss thought. The world is just full of shiny distractions, isn't it?
All the time. TikTok trends, hype coins, memes, all trying to pull you out of your circle.
Oh, you now have the shield. You have the filter.
The whole challenge is just to remember Munger's core wisdom.
It's not that hard to figure out what you know and what you don't. Stay inside. The game gets easy.
When you only rely on what you truly understand, you eliminate almost all of the bad decisions before you can even make them.
So here's something to mull over. Where have you been tempted by hype recently? And how would your circle of competence shield have protected you?